Hello and welcome to the channel and welcome to this Forza Horizon force feedback video. Obviously it's for the Fanatec 2.5 base, but it could very well be useful for other wheel and pedals combinations. So enjoy the video and let's roll it. So hello and welcome back to the channel, and today's video I'm just going to be looking over Forza Horizon 4 and the changes that I've made to the force feedback settings. Now if we move into the settings menu and we go to the controller settings. Now in here I'm using default setting 1 for the controller itself. I'll just run through those. I've not really adjusted anything on those, but still so many buttons left unconfigured, just due to the fact that you haven't got enough buttons. It really needs keyboard compatibility really. But moving on to the wheel, which is the all important one, and I'm using, which was the default, it was originally the default 3 setting that I was using, so that I actually used the paddle as the handbrake. Obviously I'm using wheel and pedals as well, so the clutch pedal is acting as the clutch pedal, and I've just adjusted on my wheel here left and right to view left and right, which I've adjusted there, as you can see, left and right on the D-pad, and a few other buttons, switch camera views, radio, what else was there? Yeah, obviously the clutch button I've selected as my clutch pedal, but really you want to be using the paddle for when you're drifting. Obviously you need to be depressing the clutch as well if you're using the clutch. So let's move to the advanced, the ones that are going to make the difference. And all these I think are set as standard. The steering linearity is set at 50. A few deceleration dead zones just regarding the pedals. I've got quite a stiff pedal and it felt like I was just touching the pedal and it was instantly starting to brake, so I wanted to feel some amount of brake pressure before any sort of braking occurred, which works out about right really at 10. These are not really going to make much of a difference because it's literally on or off with the handbrake, but this is from here downwards is really what's going to make the difference. So the vibration scale, you could tone this down a little bit to get rid of some of the effects of vibration through the wheel, but I quite like that. Force feedback scaling is set at maximum, and centre spring is set to 70. I'm believing this is what's going to try and bring the wheel back to centre. It's this mechanism that's you're actually wanting. It's how fast you want that to come back to centre. I could change that through the wheel using the drift settings. It would really get the wheel spinning, but it's got a little bit of weight to the wheel. It's got a little bit of weight to the wheel when you're actually driving. Again with the wheel damper scale, this is going to add a little bit of resistance to the wheel itself whilst you're driving. Force feedback understeer. It is quite apparent, there is quite a lot of understeer in Forza Horizon 4, and it does make the wheel go very light if you're experiencing any form of understeer, which I think is a good thing. It's definitely information that you're wanting to feel through the wheel, so I think that's important to feel it in some respects. Force feedback, minimum force, not sure 100% what this applies to, but 9 times out of 10, any of the settings that I've seen really, I've got this set on 100. Now the wheel rotation is something that I spent quite a long time adjusting. I've tried it down from around 560 all the way through to probably about 790 or something strange, and then using the 900 as well. But 600 was where I felt I was quick enough with the wheel when you're drifting to be able to spin the reel from one lot to the other and it not be too much effort. Now a lot of people use 900 for drifting, and I just haven't got the fast enough hands. I'm not skilled enough at drifting to be comfortable with 900 degrees. So I think as a starting block, 600 degrees works really nicely. And that's the settings. I'll run through the settings actually on my wheel. So you can see the settings is at 600 for the degrees of rotation. So my wheel will stop at 600 degrees. You know, it could go all the way around and it literally doesn't go any further. It just bounces off a stop there with the Fanatec wheel, which is really nice. The force feedback I've got set at 90, which is a happy medium really because of the amount of drifting that you're doing. You want it to just throw the wheel left and right. You don't really want too much weight in the wheel. It just becomes very tiring in the hands and it's not as easy to manoeuvre. Shock I've got set to off. I've never really had that on. I don't particularly know what sort of effect you get from it, to be fair. ABS I've got set to 60. There is a slight vibration comes through the pedal if you start locking up, which is quite nice. Drift mode I've got set to off. Usually on something like project cars, I probably have this on -4 because I just like to feel quite a lot of weight in the wheel. I don't want the wheel to be moving back and forward very freely. It's a different physics setup really, but yeah, I have this off. Brake force I've got set to 20. Usually again I would have this off, but I think because of the scaling that I've set in the deceleration pedal, I think it works better on 20, but I am running a very stiff brake pedal, which is very much in keeping to a GT3 car. Effects I've got set to 40. Obviously if I increase these, I do get a lot more vibration through the wheel, but when you're going over the cobbledy stuff, it does become very vibrating, which isn't particularly nice feeling through the wheel. It just feels like you're doing damage to the wheel, but generally 40 is not too bad. I can go over the cobbles on 40 quite comfortably. And that's it. That's the setup. I don't think there's anything else. Hood settings, as you can see there, a lot of the things I turned off. The map is good to have on just to get around, but I don't particularly enjoy listening to any of the commentaries. Driver tire designs. I would like to turn a number of other things off. Horizon promo icons. But yeah, that's the settings. And just in there as well, driving assisted things. Obviously, I mean, generally I would drive probably on something like that. That was I had it quite low down for another race I was doing, but there was 50 laps on something, but it didn't particularly work out very well. It wasn't lucrative enough for 50 laps, put it that way. But yeah, braking assist. I don't mind having this on or off, to be honest. It probably saves locking up the car, but a lot of drifters use it with the brake off, ABS off. Simulation is on. Traction control and everything, using the clutch with the shifting, and yeah, everything else is on. So yeah, that's the settings that I'm using at the minute, and yeah, hopefully you'll get as much enjoyment out of this game as I have, especially over the last couple of days, just trying to drive around with a more realistic approach to just driving the car around. So yeah, have some fun, and hope you've enjoyed the video, hope it's useful. Ciao for now.